Welcome back, Brian Calfano, along with our Ozarks First contributors, Nick Reed, who's also the morning show host over at KSGF, and Amy Blansit, who is the head of the Drew Lewis Foundation. Good to have you both here.
Thanks.
Recently, the Missouri Supreme Court decided that it was going to take this voter ID requirement where folks had to show a picture identity of themselves, a state-approved picture ID to be able to vote. Well, that's now gone. You don't have to do that anymore. And my question is, why is this such a problem? Every time I have to go do something like check into a hotel, or rent a car, or I have to prove my identity. And I get the argument that folks in certain racial groups have been disenfranchised in history, but can't we move to some kind of solution where we get folks the IDs that they need, and then we can lock this down and make sure that people can effectively participate in the process? And not just say, hey, it doesn't matter, just show up and do whatever you want. You don't have to prove your identity at all. That just makes no sense to me. Am I missing something?
Ask Nick, because I'm still confused about this one too.
It was so, the thing is that law, it's always to me, I don't want to say it's theater, but you had to have a photo ID unless you didn't. Right. I mean, that's what it all boiled down to. And then you had to sign something saying that I don't have one.
Right.
But
you are who you say you are.
Right.
Yeah.
And evidently some people found this very threatening, and it's just silliness. It's all silliness. But I will say this. This is not where voter fraud occurs. Now, it does once in a while. But somebody showing up at the polls and claiming there's someone they're not and voting, that in the vastness of any voting fraud that occurs, that is so very small. Generally, and this happens in the inner cities, it's with absentee or early voting. And it was seen in a state race, I think 2 years ago, where Franks was challenging, he was a Democrat, he was challenging an incumbent Democrat, and the husband of the incumbent was showing up with armfuls of ballots, which in and of itself is illegal. Right. But the election boards are run by the same party, and so nothing's done, but that, Franks made such a stink about it. St. Louis Post-Dispatch started covering it, and they started talking to people. They're like, yeah, he just came and got our ballots from us, and that's where the problem occurs. It's all of the early and absentee voting, not the photo ID component to it.
So why are Republican legislatures so gung-ho on these voter ID laws? There's 34 states, at least Missouri was one of them, now no longer, but that had these regulations in effect. So if the fraud, which doesn't happen all the time anyway, but is more likely to happen with the ballots and early voting, Nick, why aren't we focused on that as a problem?
I don't know the answer to that. In fact, I know there are some Republicans that actually push to expand early, to make it even easier, open the window for that to happen. I'm guessing it's a combination. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
I think it
boggles my mind.
What's more difficult is...
Now that is a pretty stunning admission.
to boggle him.
Putting that out there.
Right.
Okay, right.
So the other part is remembering that little card that they send me that I have to tear off the top and fold it in half and then, go to the specific location. So I've got to have my voter ID card. But then again, when you show up, maybe you don't, and they can just look up your name. But then if I don't have an ID, so at what point do we say, that voting is safe or that I'm confident in? But again, as Nick pointed out, there's so few people who are going to take their Tuesday morning to go cheat the system with a fake ID or no ID in order to vote.
Yeah, but I was going to say, why do we make it so hard to vote in this country?
See, I don't think we do. I think...
In other countries, it's a national holiday. If you don't show up, you get fined. I mean, why can't...
Let's get government involved.
I'm not sure that we should compel people to vote.
There are some people who are correct. We don't want voting.
And I get flack for this all the time. All this stuff where we need to get as many people to vote as possible. No. If people are showing up to vote only because they were compelled to, then odds are they don't know what's going on. Right. Because if they knew what was going on and they cared, then they would already go vote. But this getting as many people as possible rounded up and signed up and encouraging them to go, it's like we're just taking people who don't even know what's going on and having them weigh in on the process. I am totally opposed to that.
The answer is C, right? If I just fill down C, I'm going to get it correct.
Right.
But no, I think that's the bigger thing that that we talk about is, instead of stories like this, how do we make sure that individuals feel educated about the decisions they're going to make? We have several great organizations here in Springfield that will even come and speak to individuals just to say, hey, here's on the ballot, just to make sure that people understand who are you voting for, here's the main platforms that they're standing on and talking about, and that's what's more important. How do we turn the story into something of where do you go to be educated, and then do you feel like your voice matters? And that's the reason we have a lot of people not even caring. Like you said, some people shouldn't vote because they just don't care, or they don't feel like their voice is heard, and so they would rather just not know.
But I do want to say, I'm not opposed to having to show a photo. I mean, like I said, we have to do it for everything under the sun. I just don't believe that requiring people to show their photo ID at the polls is going to put a dent in the voter fraud that occurs.
What about a national standard? I think the Constitution would have to get amended to let this happen, but why do we end up having all 50 states?
Because we have 50 states.
Yeah, but you know what?
That's why we are a collection of states.
I understand, but you've got some people sending the stuff in via carrier pigeon. You have others who are doing the computerized system. I mean, we had all these problems in 2000. It's already been 20 years with the hanging chads.
Well,
and we still don't have a system where we're convinced that there won't be any chance of fraud, hacking into the systems. Or you have all these different standards that are very difficult for the government to keep track of. Why can't we have a national system?
Well, if you have one national system, if it's bad, you don't have any other system to look at and go, oh, what are they doing? You know, now we have the opportunity with different states doing it different ways. You know, for example, the world once upon a time saw we don't want to do what Florida does. That was a learning experience for the world. But this is another hang-up that I have. It is this insistence that because technology exists, we have to figure out a way to use it. No, we should just go back to paper ballots, where and that's it.
Lyndon Johnson in box 13.
I mean, all of this stuff, the Iowa caucus, you know, they're using an app now to transmit the numbers, which isn't as frightening as, you know, allowing people to vote on, you know, on their phone, but that is going to come, you know, because we can. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And we spend all this time talking about, oh, voter machines, and we test them, and can they be hacked? And how about we just don't use them?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we seem to do
Make
okay.
the big mark where you have to and drop it in the ballot box.
Yes.
Right? Fill in the bubble. We were all taught how to fill in the bubble.
We had a lot of elections like that, and they seem to go pretty okay.
All right, folks, thank you very much. Nick Reed, Amy Blansit. We'll be back after this.